Hi folks, so today's video is day number 2 in my Valentine's Day week, and each day this week is going to be focused on sort of a different aspect of Valentine's Day, either things that I've celebrated in the past or things that I'm going to celebrate in the future. So yesterday's video was all inspired by Valentine's Day, and so today's look is just inspired by sort of like a casual daytime day look. This is something that I would do if like we're sort of having low-key Valentine's Day plans and I just kind of want to like walk around and chill. Just doing a makeup look that's fun and bright. Obviously, if you don't have a significant other, you can sort of take a friend out for a date, sort of walk around and chill. You can take your mom out, grandparents, whatever. You know, just spread the love however you'd like. This is just something that I would wear personally in the daytime, sort of walking around and chilling, or maybe going for like a lunch or something like that. So much like yesterday's video and probably videos all this week, I'm going to be using multiple products. I'm going to try my best to include everything that I use in the description box down below. Now, I made an order with Juvia's place, so I got in 3 of their palettes. I have the little yellow one as well. So I'm going to be using products from 2 of the palettes today. I will be doing individual like full weekly palette reviews of all of these, but I just wanted to sort of play around with some of the colors because they're really good. Alright, so then the colors that I'm using today, this is the Nubian 1 palette, so I'm taking a little bit of this shade right here. It's kind of a soft, sort of yellow toned camel sort of shades, matte, so something like that. Next I switched over to the Masquerade palette. I'm using a little bit of this shade here, which is Bory. It's just this bright sort of matte pink, and I'm putting that into my crease as well. And then moving back to the Nubian palette, I'm taking this shade right here all over my lid. It's sort of just a white shade that has a really nice like metallic little bit of pink in it, sort of a champagne-y color, so I'm taking that all over the lid. And then to add even more sparkle, I'm going in with the Urban Decay Moondust palette, and I'm going in with the shade called Specter. And then the purple liner I used is the NYX Vivid Bright in the shade Vivid Violet. So then those are the products that I used for the eye. And then moving on to brushes, I used 3. I used the same just crease brush, just a 217 from MAC, to go in with the camel shade as well as the pink. I'm taking a flat shader brush, it's a MAC 239, to pat color onto the lid. I do use my fingers a little bit as well, just for the metallic shades. And for underneath the eye, I'm just taking a Morphe M210, just a tiny little shader thing, just to apply underneath the bottom lash line. First thing going into that Nubian palette, I'm taking that camel shade, just taking a little bit of this. These colors in this palette are super pigmented. I'm really excited to use these for a week. I think I'm going to use this palette next after this Valentine's Day week, but I'm just going to take that onto my brush and just start working that right into my crease. I'm applying that right into my crease and then blending it up as well, just up towards the brow bone. My brush into very little of that Bory color, which is the hot pink from the Masquerade palette. This color is super pigmented, and so I just want a little bit of it, and I'm just going to place that sort of in the outer corner, just on top of that shade, and blend the 2 together. And I'm just going in with a light amount because I don't want it to be super pigmented. I just kind of want to add like a little bit of hint of pink into the crease. The more you pick up with your brush, the more intense and pigmented that color is going to end up. Super bright. Like, I'm barely putting my brush into the product and I got like that kind of pigmentation. And then with those 2 applied, next up I'm going into this corner shade from the Nubian palette, and I'm going to take that on a flat stiff brush. Now, I do find that these work best with a finger, but I'm able to apply it with a stiff brush. It's just you might get a little bit more fallout that way, but they do work with a brush, which is nice. Then just to sort of blend those 2 together, I'm picking up a little bit more of the pink that we used, and I'm just going to go a little bit deeper into the crease and just blend that sort of on top of that shiny shade that we just put there. Next, I'm just going to go back in with that shade Bory, and I'm going to take that on the little brush here and apply that right underneath my bottom eyelashes. Next, I'm going to go into the Moondust palette. I'm just going to take my finger for this. You could use another small pencil brush, but I don't like cleaning brushes. And this is just going to get applied right onto the inner corner. And then from there, the eyeshadow is complete. Next up is to add the purple liner. I'm just going to do a simple line, and then right on top of that, I'm just added a little heart. Valentine's Day, why not? Alright, so I went ahead and did the liner and my mascara just off camera. I actually did a better heart on this side than I did on that side. But if you're having issues, just practice a little bit on your hand before you do it on your eye, and that's just my best sort of tip with that. Like, I don't know if they really match. I don't even know if my eyeliner ever matches, but hey. You put effort in, and that's all that counts. Moving on to the rest of the face, I'm just taking a little bit of NYX Taupe Blush. You guys know, it's my favorite. For my blush, I don't want anything too dark, so I'm very lightly just taking a little bit of NARS Orgasm. Just enough to add like a little bit of sheen, but not go crazy. And then my highlight, I'm going back to one of my favorites. This is MAC's Vanilla Pigment. And I'm just gonna take a little brush there. People ask me what this brush is for highlighter. This is a Sigma tapered highlighter. I've had this for like years and years. It's just one of these brushes that I like. It just, you know, tapers like that. I find it just sits nicely on the cheekbones and you can apply it lightly. Yeah, that's just my favorite brush for highlighter. I have used fan brushes in the past, but I don't like them. I find it just gives me like a streak. This, if like, I don't know, something about this brush, I like it. Okay, here, so that's what it is. And then for lips, I kind of want like a mix of like a pink and a mauve. I really don't have a lot of pink liquid lipsticks. I don't wear pink very often. I'm typically wearing like crazier colors, or like those grayish nudes are typically what I have. I have a lot of colors like that. So I'm actually gonna mix two. I'm mixing together, this is Sedona from Makeup Monsters, and then a Sephora lip cream in 12. I would normally just wear this, but I feel it's a little bit bright for this look, so I'm just gonna mix the two together. All right, so then that mixture combined makes this sort of lip color, which I actually think is really pretty, and I'm gonna be on a hunt to find a color like this now. That's the thing with me and liquid lipsticks. If there's a color that I don't quite have, I will mix it and then immediately go try to find that color, so I don't have to mix it. I'm just the worst with liquid lipsticks. Like, I'm constantly trying to find colors that I don't have when I'm like, you idiot, you can pretty much mix anything at this point. Also, I'm just going to address something that I read in a comment. It was kind of like a constructive criticism comment, which I don't mind. I'm a grown human. I like reading them. Like, I like knowing constructive criticism and like critiques about my videos and stuff like that. Someone had an issue with how I fill in my lips, and I'm just going to point this out. It's like I don't know how other to fill in my lips, but apparently I just take it. They said I take it too far into the corners, and I'm like, I'm a little confused by that because I don't know how else I'm supposed to fill in my mouth without putting it all up in there. So if you guys have any tips, let me know. One thing I will point out though is my Cupid's bow is tilted. It doesn't perfectly line up with my, like the end of my nose. That's because when I was a kid, I tore the cord underneath my lip, and so I have no cord there. Now it's a little weird fact about me. So the more you know, I have like a little nub right there. So it makes my Cupid's bow kind of like lopsided on my face. Like, no one's face is symmetrical, but that's kind of why like my lip line looks fucked up. I also speak more with this side of my mouth. Anyway, just little things that I've pointed out while I'm editing my own videos like over the years. So I just want to address that. I'm aware that my lip line looks like shit like 80% of the time. It is what it is. Just feel free to give me any constructive criticism as to how else I'm supposed to fill in my fucking lips, because that makes no sense to me when I read that comment. There's certain things that I read that I'm like, oh yeah, you know, like I can improve on that and whatnot. But that was one that I'm like, how else am I supposed to fill in my lips? I don't understand. So anyway, that wraps up day 2, focusing on more of a day casual Valentine's Day makeup. I do hope you guys are enjoying this week. Tomorrow I'm going to do a video focused on self-love and sort of treating yourself on Valentine's Day. When I was single, that's always what I like to do. I like to take myself out for dinner and that sort of thing. So tomorrow's look is going to be inspired by makeup that I would wear to that. So leave me any comments down below. What are your plans for Valentine's Day? What are you doing? Is it something that you celebrate? Is it something that you hate? Just leave me any comments down below. So hopefully everyone is doing good, and until my next video, I will talk to all you soon.